life-threatening trouble for being an artist, for being a musician, for writing the wrong kind of music. You could be sent to a tenor in Siberia. The Shostakovich Festive Overture. A wonderful piece. I mean, it's a bright. It starts out with some very ponderous fanfare of 26 bars leading up to. It's like stretching a bowstring to the breaking point, and then boing, letting it go, and this overture just shoots off like a sleigh over snow.
It's thrilling,
just like Ruslan and Lyudmila, or the Kabalevsky Kolas Bronyan overture. It's in that tradition, and boy, is it bright and highly optimistic, really positivistic. It's a brass player's holiday. It's almost as if the guy who could send you to the Gulag had died the year before.
Yeah.
It was written. It premiered in 54.
That guy's a jerk.
Hey, careful! He can still hear.
I mean,
he's still got ears.
Theoretically,
it was premiered in 54, the year after Stalin died, but it was written in 47. But Shostakovich had been in so much trouble already with getting on the wrong political side with things like Lady Macbeth of Mtsensk and The Nose, so he was holding things back. And as soon as Stalin died, he released his 10th Symphony and his violin concerto, and then the director of the Bolshoi called and said, "Do you have an overture for the opening of the season?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we'll take it." So he had probably written it out in full score, but not written the parts, because it then says he wrote it out during the next 3 days. I think that what that means is he wrote the parts because he wasn't going to let anyone perform it because he could get in too much trouble.
Right.
And it was a big hit. Always has been.
Staggering to me to try to wrap my mind around the idea of getting in trouble. Real trouble, not like
it's actually fairly easy to do in this world.
Not social media trouble, but like Gulag trouble,
life-threatening trouble for being an artist, for being a musician, for writing the wrong kind of music. You could be sent to a tenor in Siberia, and you might not come back.
No, I cannot. It's just I have no context whatsoever.
We had a conversation about the Shostakovich's Leningrad Symphony,
the 7,
which is incredibly dramatic, and the tightrope that he walked and that Prokofiev walked and that so many of them walked, but few with as great a degree of virtuosity as those two. And it really, if you wonder why their music seems cynical sometimes, it's because they were imagine trying to characterize that society that can jail you for writing the wrong kind of music in music.
But you have to make it sound like it's an uplifting noble. You have to lie about it.
But if you remember, I said, so the 7th, 8th, and 9th were the war symphonies. The 9th did not please Stalin. He found it empty. And, because so many, the country was empty of like 25 million people. But it's interesting that he withheld 10 because I can't afford to be in that much trouble again.
Yeah, because he was outside his house every night smoking, not counting his likes or dislikes or snarky comments on his social feed. He was outside smoking on the stoop. In case the Gulag came and took him, he did not want his children to see that event.
No, it's... And the degree of cultural calculation that went into the music of some of the Soviet composers, particularly into Prokofiev and especially Shostakovich, because he actually resisted. Prokofiev didn't exactly resist.
He was very sardonic about it,
Shostakovich resisted in music. And the degree of social calculation that had to go into any public move he would make would be enough to give any normal person a nervous breakdown. But if you read the book The Oak and the Calf about this is a book by Solzhenitsyn about how he went about publishing, first of all, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, but then the Gulag, and how he came to be expelled from the country. The chess game the constant chess game with the authorities. Now, there's nothing of that in the Festive Overture.
No.
I mean, it's now, and it's been called social realism, but really, it's if anything that Shostakovich has ever written was happy, this is happy.
Yeah.
And it's a joy. It really is.